Host, please fix this issue.
I am not visible. My video has been disabled. Anyway, any other query? I hope I've answered that. Saptashi, your question. I can't hear you. You unmute yourself.
Can you hear me?
Ah,
Yes,
yeah,
you have
yeah.
answered that. Actually, the thing is, the shifting of male beauty concept from the Greek society that male beauty should have like six-pack muscles in each and everything came to this new, like it can be a globalization or localization, whatever, which is conquering the ethnic beauty. Like if you see the ethnicity of Bengali, then there should be some of little bit tummy in boys, then that boy will be a little bit beautiful in Bengali community. But nowadays it's completely changed, and it's feel
Changed.
like no, yeah, it
See
should
the
be
whole
like
idea, the whole shift that you were mentioning about the temples and all. The whole shift was very interestingly. If you see that very interestingly, according to the history chronologically, things have changed. In the Vedic period or say ancient period, I would quote that ancient period,
yes,
the acceptance of homosexuality or the queer community was very open. The performances, you see plays, you see Upanishads mentioning, you see Puranas
yes,
talking about them, you see temples talking about them. Then what happens is all of a sudden the intersectionality of caste was introduced on the basis of
yes, yes,
labor. And once that was introduced, then the division started. Sociological, psychological division slowly penetrated into the society. By the time they came out of that penetration or or whatever or the penetration that has to be changed is automatically we see that the Muslims invades the country, and Muslim brings a lots of cultural changes into the society, and therefore the
mhm,
whole as I was talking about, the whole idea of Londa Nach was already there, but that was more modified. And then what
mhm,
happens, the role of transgender also changes, and in between there is a huge history. And when the
yes,
Britishers
yes,
enters in the country, the whole things have to be Victorian morality. And so the morality becomes so important. And today we are still fighting that morality. The whole idea of morality is still questioned, and we are still fighting about the morality, whether we are right or whether we are wrong, all the time. That is only happening. Whether Bollywood can do or Bollywood is not doing right. This is a bad film. That is a bad film. This is not the way to show. That is what is happening today.
Sir, I think I have more questions, but we can continue through four. Now I should
For other
talk about.
others, let other ask questions. There are
Yeah,
other people who will
so
ask questions.
there is some question. Representation of queer has been to an extent limited, perhaps only to lesbian and gay characters. What about other
Hmm.
kinds of sexuality?
I told that also. It's like
I
bisexuals recently we had 2012 film Bombay Talkies where you had a bisexual character. Like for example, Randeep Huda was playing that bisexual character. He was married to
uh,
Rani Mukherjee, but he falls in love with
yes,
Saqib Salim. That is one of the
yes,
bisexual character you have. You have another bisexual character with a prominent feature is uh, Kalki acting in Margarita with a straw.
Margaret.
If you see these two bisexual characters are there, then yes, I was saying that asexual characters are not there. We do not have
Yes,
intersex
yes,
character anywhere. So these are the things that Bollywood should think about it. Bollywood
yeah,
think about it, like intersex characters, about asexual characters, about other parts of the community also, about allies. We have to think about.
yeah.
We do not see them in the films.
Another question is how the social issues of gays is get normalized because of the misogynistic, patriarchal, and heterosexual dominance in the mainstream cinema.
See, Uh, to be frank enough, um, it sounds very stereotype and orthodox, but Bollywood still is patriarchal. You
Yes.
cannot do anything. You cannot do anything about that. And this patriarchy is running since 100 years. since Bollywood started functioning as Bollywood. Now, if you see films like Nawab, for example, uh, Nawab, if you it's a 40s film. You see Nawab, the relationship between the Lord and the servant was so erotic that we can see the examples of that as homoeroticism. But is it possible? Is it possible to change the patriarchy? Is it possible? Now the question is, yes, it can be possible. The simple answer is that possible. But you think of within the community, there is also homoarchy, which is called homopatriarchy, patriarchy within homosexuals. That is Gilreath's terminology. Now, homoarchy is also working, and all the attentions are only given to the gays. You think of all the movies that are been criticized and portrayed and stereotypes, all attentions are, if characters are gay, if there are films like 50 films are there on gay characters, there will be 10 films on lesbian characters, there will be 5 films on transgender. But about the others, cannot do anything. And
Mm.
therefore, the patriarchy within our community also works. It was once upon a time called gay pride across the world. It was not called queer pride. Today we understand,
Mm.
today we realize that no, everyone should be given importance. Therefore, the terminology changes, and then queer also has been removed. It was simply called pride across the world. These are very important nuances that has to work. Within our community, we have phobias. There are lots of you see that when we talk about these issues are so sensitive, people might get aggressive, but please don't get aggressive over here. But let me tell you frankly, lesbians don't like koti men. Very important. The study says that. Then hijras don't like koti. Okay. Now, lots of gay men don't like bisexual. So there are phobias within us. There is transphobia, there is biphobia, there is lesbophobia. There are so many phobias among us. So when we can't come out of it, if we take time to come out of it, can we fight together? Can we understand the Muslims' problems, queer Muslims' problems in, say, Kashmir? Can we understand the Dalit Muslims, Dalit queers problem in Maharashtra or say Rajasthan? Can we? If we can, then gradually we are moving towards a society which can club together, united we can stand, we can unitedly fight. But you have to think it is not possible. It will take time. You cannot, as I was saying before also, that we cannot press a button and say, okay, let's change. You cannot change like that. It takes time to change and make people understand that change. First of all, we have to accept ourselves. That is very, very important. That pride has to be there. What we are, we should take a sense of pride in it, not shaming ourselves. Oh, I am fair. Oh, I am Brahmin. I'm privileged. I'm upper class. All these intersectionalities make us, of course, not part of the community, but takes away from the community. It makes closet community for you. You see, elite activism happens. We talk in English all the time. Now, if this wants to be heard by other people of the country, how do we converse that? I don't know that Tamil. I can't speak in Tamil. I can speak in Hindi a bit. I can speak in Bangla a bit. But is that possible? Now, whole idea is that. That's why the whole this debate is to talk about that. If we ourselves can't change, how can we expect Bollywood to change all of a sudden? How can we expect, okay, let's put Salman Khan to act a gay character? Is it possible? If you give Salman Khan 200 crores also, he will never act a gay character in films. That is what is important for us. Any other questions, Saptarshi?
I think, sir, there is no question. So I think we can end this session here. And I
Biplav
don't
is
think there
saying
is
something. Biplav
Biplab.
said something. What was Biplav saying? I
Biplab,
don't know.
unmute
Biplav was
yourself.
saying something. Biplav wrote something. I just saw. Anyway, Uh,
Uh,
before we end the discussion, what I would like to say is I would like to thank AIQA. I want to thank a person who got in touch with me, Saptarshi from the AIQA, and other people also whom I like said, no, I don't want to talk to you people. I want to talk to Saptarshi only because I don't want to create lots of problems between you people. Like, okay, तुमने मेघना को तो ये बात बोल दी, सर आपने मेघना को कैसे ये बात बोल दी? Yes, have problems I don't want to get into. Therefore, I said,
Actually,
let me
sir,
talk to one person only, and then he can communicate to the others. So that is what is important. Thank you, Ipshita. Thank you so much. And very importantly, when we talk about Bollywood, Bollywood is us. Bollywood is us. You have to remember that stars become from us. They are not stars if you stop watching Salman Khan, if you stop, say for example, this whole thing is going on, the debate is going on that stop nepotism, so stop watching Dharma production, stop watching Karan Johar. If that kind of thing stops, all of a sudden things fall apart. But things cannot. The fault is in us also. We have to understand we are not perfect. We are not perfect. Among community, we have so much of problems. Among community, so much problems. With that problem has to be the polemics of these problems are so important, and that makes us very unique in the society. Every one of you who have participated over here, every one of you are unique. And this uniqueness you have to understand. You have to take a sense of pride that you are unique. You are not a dissident, no more a dissident. You are unique, you are different. Different does not make you totally something to be shamed about. No, you should take a sense of pride. And being a queer is very, very important because you are fighting not only against the society, you are fighting for yourself. You're fighting within yourself. All the times, dualities that you are dealing with, the tortures that you are within yourself analyzing and you are criticizing within yourself, that is what is you have to take pride of. You have to. And that is where, if once you do that, you see Bollywood will also come up very soon. See, Bollywood came up with Shobhanda Zyada Savdhan. You have a simple gay character. You don't
yeah.
have much halubalus about that character. Simple gay character. Two men kissing, people getting nervous about the whole situation. The situation changes. That kind of thing will definitely happen. Don't worry about it. We will have asexual characters also. Definitely one day. We will have aromantic, we will have agender, we have many other things. We will have, definitely. But it will take time. It has already happened in other vernacular films. It will take time in our Bollywood also. For example, Muthu, if you have watched, those who have watched Muthu, hats off to the director. It was an amazing film. It will bring tears to your eyes. Such a film. After Sacharam and Alurukkam, that was a film one should expect. Super Deluxe, for example. After Navarasa, I saw something which is noteworthy was Super Deluxe. Bengali films, there were so many of them. So many because we had a Jain who produced all those was Ritporn Ghosh. And therefore, that is where films also change. You have Punjabi films on gay characters, you have Punjabi films on lesbian characters, you have Kannada films on them. But do you watch them? That's where it is important. I don't know Malayalam, but I do watch Malayalam. That is, and if the films I'm talking about, all these films, Navarasa and all this, these are all available on your OTT platform. You just watch them. That is what is very important for us. Accept the otherness also. Once you
Yeah.
accept the otherness, the other will accept you. You accept yourself, the world will accept. That's what, and you should take pride of that. Thank you. Thank you
Sir,
so much.
sir, there is one last question. Came from Biplop,
Oh,
at
last
least.
question is
So,
there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. The question is, to what extent can we be inclusive, and what are the practical problems that we would more like to face during the process?
Inclusion, that's a big word. Inclusion is a big word. Why I say it's a big word? Think of it. You have a transgender friend, fine. The transgender friend you have knows English, knows how to talk, knows how to properly dress, quote unquote. I'm talking about all these things. These are the characters you know about a transgender, right? If you have a friend, a transgender, who is clapping on the traffic signal or into prostitution, can you bring that person home and introduce as your friend to your family? Think over it. Think over it. It is so easy for us to talk about bisexual. It is so easy for us to talk about lesbians. It is so easy for us to talk about gay. Uh, it is so easy for us to talk about all these people because they are visible but unveiled. The person who is unveiled and visible so easily is a transgender in the society. But uh, what happens to them is they always get the negligence. I'm not saying that we are transphobic. I'm not saying we are transphobic. Neither I'm saying I'm biphobic or lesbophobic or aphobic or whatever phobia is that. Along with phobias, we all have problems. We all have problems. But the problem more than that is we have to unitedly fight for a cause. If a friend is in dire need of you, you go and help that friend, whosoever it is. Don't think of a caste, don't think of religion, don't think of your class. Can you? Can you befriend someone who say he is a Dalit maid or a Bangladeshi Muslim maid who is working at home? Can you befriend them? Can you make them part of struggle? Can you talk to them? There are many novels, there are many things written in the society, in the literature of this country, immensely talked about them. Once you do that, inclusion automatically starts. Therefore, it is very important for us to include that in our mind. We have to include that. That is very important. You have to include all the fingers are different. Suppose one is gay, one is bisexual, one is, but together it forms the hand. Therefore, the hand has to be formulated through all the fingers. That is important for us. I hope that's how inclusion works within the community. Outside the community, automatically, if all the community members are together, the mainstream gradually will accept us. Don't worry about it.
Uh, Thank you, sir. This is a wonderful session.
Thank you.
Actually, on the way of a ICA, I am thanking to you. Other than me, there is
Okay.
Meghna, who is the founder of ICA, who texted you
I know.
actually.
I know. I
And
know.
Meghna
She's
is
my
telling
student, so
me,
I know very well.
मेघना is telling me, भैया सर को बोलिए उनको पता नहीं है शायद मैं फाउंडर हूँ. So Meghna was there. It was very much helpful from all of my group members, those who helped me to organize this webinar. Other than them, it is not possible for me. Like actually, I haven't done these things. We done these things. Like we talked with everyone. Then we asked the speakers. Then we arranged these things. There is only one problem, that is this technical problem, and we are very much sorry for this. We are very much sad for this. On the behalf of ICA, I am again apologizing to each and every participants and the speakers also, and to you, Professor Himadri. I'm very sorry again. We'll
It's
try to
fine,
fix.
absolutely fine, absolutely fine.
We'll
Someone asked about the social media accounts that I have. They want to either be in touch with me. I have Facebook, obviously, Facebook with my full name in it. You can send me a friend request there. I have an Insta, himadri.roy.14. Follow me there. He follows me and is in Facebook. They all know about me. Thank you. I hope this kind of session will always be there. We can interact more on all kinds of terms, like we can talk about theories. We can talk about many things, so that it becomes more enlightened for not only me. I also started learning many things from you people. Especially from the young generation, I have learned many things that. Probably I didn't know once upon a time when I was of your age, especially the terminologies. I didn't know about those terminologies. Today I know that okay, asexual is a different term, intersex is a different term, transsexual is a different term. I learned all this from you people. Like that is so important that we learn by sharing. You learn by always accepting each other, not like throwing away. अच्छा ये इसको सुनना ही नहीं है, बंद करो इसको. नहीं, not that way. You open your doors, open your mind. Gradually, you see there's a pride of what you are today. And once again, happy Pride Month to all of you. You are unmute, Saptarshi. You are unmute.
চকলেট হচ্ছে বিষ হচ্ছে
First issue is the health. Second issue.
So I'm saying I'm thankful to you. We are thankful to you for this wonderful session, and I think we already have lots of responses, lots of questions from the audience and from the panel. Or it's not panel, from my session also. My as a chair, I had a lots of good. Interaction with you, and I know I have lots of questions, and I'll definitely ask you through phone. And thank you for this session again. And now
Thank
I
you.
think
Thank you.
I think we should end this session. I have as an announcement again to all the participants. We will try to fix out this technical problem for our next session, and we'll try to fix that. But if the problem again happen, then don't feel sad. We'll send the link again in the WhatsApp group. I already sent the email to 630 respondents. Please join in all 4 WhatsApp groups, and anyone can join any group. So we can maintain and we can monitoring on all of you. So we can give you the link. That is my request to everyone. And thanks your support.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thank you.
Host,
Thank you
please
so much.
off this mic. Thank you, sir.